Hey, Phil Jordan here with Jordan Apartment Guys, and today I want to talk about valuing your 5 units or more investment property. So we're talking multifamily because that's what we specialize in, that's what we know. So when you go to 5 units or more, you typically end up with more sophisticated sellers and more sophisticated buyers, and commercial loans are necessary to purchase the property with 5 units or more on one parcel. Those all create the need to evaluate a property based on more commercial metrics, and so we use the cap rate as the predominant way to value units that are 5 or more. And this is going to work for 10, 20, 30 units. And basically what you're looking for is accurate data on sales of property of other similar properties, similar areas, ideally similar unit count. So if you've got an 8-unit property, you want to stick with 5 to 10 unit sale comparable properties. Whereas if you've got a 50 unit, you want to stick with large complexes, 40 to 80 units. So the cap rate is a simple ratio of between the sale price to the net income. So net income is, you've got your gross rents minus your vacancies, and that's your income. Expenses going to be all your operating expenses. So property taxes, insurance, garbage, property management, water bill. One thing you do not include in here is mortgage payment. That is not an operating expense. So you're going to stick with operating expenses, and typically you're going to see say a 10-unit property, you're going to have typically probably about a 40% expense factor, maybe 45%, maybe 50%, depending on the age of the building. If it's an older building and a C area versus an A or B, it's probably going to be more like in the 50%, 45 to 50% expense factor. If it's a newer building, nicer area, A area, you're probably going to end up with about a 40% expense factor. So the net income of your property is going to create the cap rate. So that is simply the net income divided by the sale price creates the cap rate. So the way to value your property is you're going to find 2, 3, 4 properties that have sold recently, and look at what they sold for versus what their net income was, and look at what the cap rates are for those similar buildings. Apply that cap rate to your building because you know your net income based on rents minus expenses, and simply apply the percentage. Typically it might be a 4%, a 5%, a 6% cap rate. You look at your net income is, so as an example, if you determine your net income to be $50,000 a year, so your rents minus expenses, your net income is $50,000, and you've determined that the other properties like yours sold with an average of a 5% cap rate. So you can take your $50,000 net income, divide it into 5%. So $50,000 divided by 5%, $1 million is what the answer is there. There's the value of property, pretty darn close. There are other factors, but those are going to be the principal factors to look at.